So I'm going to show you a bit of correcting, and there's a golden rule for myself or for everybody who uses the program. It's called structure first, details second. But we will first talk about the common error marks that happen in ScanScore. So I open this project. It's just page 2, where we have a good example for this. So we have blue arrow marks and we have green arrow marks. Blue arrow marks need to be fixed, but green arrow marks are good for you. They fill up elements that are not correctly recognized, but we will talk about this later. So it is really important that you fix these blue lines, because ScanScore is like a calculator. So it counts the note values, sums them up, and then the playback happens after this logic. So if you have too many note values, like the light blue dashed line here indicates, then the playback will just stop and skip to the next bar when the note values for this bar are full. So if I have 4/4 and I see here 4/4, then this will just stop here and not play the rest. This is really important when we come to fixing bar lines. So you always need to set the bar lines first. That's what I mean with structure first, details second. And I will show you this in the second example. So these light blue arrow marks indicate that we have too many note values. The dark blue arrow marks indicate that we have too less note values in the bar. And the number here shows us the voice where there are problems. And I will talk about this later, but one step at a time. I know it can be a lot. So we'll take a look and we'll play a little memory game. We'll take a look at this side and we'll take a look at the left side. And we see the first quarter note should be an eighth note. So I draw a selection rectangle around these notes. And now I use the note toolbar to select the matching note value. So I can go here and select the eighth note. And now this bar is clear. So let's go to this bar. What happened here? For some reason, these eighth notes should be quarter notes. So I could now go up here again, but I can also press the note shortcut for the note value, in this case, 4 for quarter. So press it. And this speeds up your workflow a lot more than just going up to these icons here. So these are the main error marks that you can fix. But I also heard a lot of people having problems with triplets. And thanks to our improving AI recognition that I encourage you to also improve in future by sending us scores, that we can eliminate these problems. So, but if we have this example now, everything is correct, besides the 3 was not detected. So I just draw a selection rectangle here. And now you see here in the note toolbar, this little 3. This is the tuplet button. I could also press 3 on my keyboard. So now we have this. I also do this here. I press 3 and the tuplet is set. In this case, a triplet. I can also double click on this to select a different tuplet. So we don't only have triplets, we also have quintuplets, everything that you can imagine. You can also set yourself a various number. You can also choose to show the tuplet or not to show them. You can choose how they will be displayed. So with a triplet wing or not with a triplet wing. And the triplet wings are mostly the problems because they appear in all different kind of shapes. And now you could apply this also to all tuplets. So every Tuplet has this kind of combination. So this is also an important thing. We are going into the details a bit, but we will skip to the structure now in a second. But I want to show you one thing that I also mentioned in the support section often, are these things that are placed incorrectly, and we will also do another workaround for this. But you see the staccato points here. You can place not only notes, but also accents, techniques, and dynamics. But here we have accents and techniques. So I want the staccato points to be on the opposite side. What I can do is I go to the staccato and click it, and I click it again. And you see that they are now on the other side. And if you want them to be on the other side, you have to hold Control or Command, and then they appear on the other side. So this is a little life hack, but it's really important. So I hope this is a bit helpful for you. We can also ask you, what are you scanning scores for? What is your purpose for ScanScore? What are your main activities that you do as a musician? Change the key, community choir music, musicals, wow. This is nice. It's really a lot of different things to create rehearsal files for choir singers. We will do this also in the next webinar to have an improved function to have separated choir files. We can already do this in the score mode, but I will talk this another time because I want to show you now something that is not really good. So I close this and I scan this piece. This is a customer piece that I edited somewhere in the support. So it's always interesting what people send me, but you always have to take a look at the copyright things. But I just want to show you this because here we have also lyrics, we have chords, and this is where it gets interesting. Do you want to be asked for the name of the instrument all over the document? No, I trust ScanScore that it will select the sounds right for me. So in this document, my golden rule is really important. Structure first, details second. I will show you why this is important and why you should always check, is the key right? Is the time signature right? Because if the time signature is off, then you might have a lot of error marks. And if you select everything with Control and A, and then change the time signature, then you might have nothing to correct at all because only the time signature was wrong. Even sometimes for single bars, you always have to check this first if it apparently is okay at first sight. But now we have here a piece where we have also lyrics and chords. But we will not get into the details, as I said, but we check the structure first. So we have the key is right, yeah. And the time signature is also right. Okay, this is something good, but there's something above these things, this general structure of the document. So I will take a look at page 2. And if you use physical scanners, this can happen a lot, or if you have different threshold settings, that you have this, a black line here, a shadow from a page that is slightly turned. And this can confuse ScanScore a lot. So this is why we will include the image editing functions. And as you can see, this is a 3-staff system, but it was detected as a 6-stave system. So these 2 separate systems were combined into one system, and also this black line confused ScanScore completely. So the bar lines were not set. So I will show you how to fix this now. First, we will split these things, and we have a new feature for this. I will show you in the organize menu, the organize staves function. Because here we can not only select how graphical connections are set for like braces or brackets and everything else, bar lines also between some staves, but we can also go deeper and change the whole structure of the document. So I go to connect or disconnect staves, and this is new. This is our system editor, and it will also come in handy later for orchestral scores if you have not only all instruments displayed at a time, so you can change which instrument belongs to which staff. So, but I want to have this system split. So I go to here, piano, this staff, and I could move it up, I could move it down, but I want to do a system split. And now this is already fixed. I can choose apply, and you see this problem was solved. Now what I want to do is to set the bar lines correctly. So as I have said before, otherwise if you would play this back, you've seen it was only played till here, where the bar line should be, and then it jumped to this point. This is because the whole bar line is missing. So I go to the bar lines and repeats toolbar. And here you can set bar lines. You can change what bar line it is. You can select volta brackets, and you can also set coda signs for and Senyu. This is an important button for Senyus. But here I will use measure bar split, the first one, and I will place it here. And the bar is split. Now I'll take a look. Here I will also need to do a split. Nice. You see some of the bars are corrected through this. Now, before we continue with the chords and the lyrics, I want to quickly show you the voices that are also really important. Because as you can see here, we have something different. We have different voice layers, and we can choose them here. We can, in the notes menu, we can switch to voice 1, alternatively with control and 1. And all notes that are belonging to voice 1 are now displayed, and the others are grayed out. So I can take a look. What is wrong with this? Here, every notes are summed up individually in the voice layer. And we quickly see that there is a note missing here. So a lot of people think, okay, I will insert a note, but this is not working currently because as you can see, we have a light blue arrow mark. I cannot insert it because we have already too many note values. So what I have to do is to fix these things first. I have to see these are quarter notes. So, and also this quarter note is a dotted quarter note. So it's even a higher note value. So I click on this dotted quarter note and I select the dot here. Alternatively, I can press 5. And then this is not a dotted quarter note anymore. So I select the rectangle here and I press 8. And now I have a dark blue arrow mark. So I can insert a new 8th note. So here in voice 2, I click Control and 2 to show voice 2. There's also one note missing, so I press 2 to select the half note. And then I will click here to insert it. Easy. Once you get the hang of it, it is really okay, doable. But at first sight, it might be really frustrating to see there are so many error marks. I don't want to use this. But I always say you don't get into a car without a driver's license. So here in this example, we have something in voice 2. So I switch to voice 2. And we see, only the quarter rest is here. So I will press 4 to insert a quarter note here and another quarter note here. I press escape because escape exits every editing mode. So we are back to selection mode. And you might think now, okay, fine, but the stem is in the other direction. So I select this and I go to the notes menu. And then I can change the stem direction here. Control D is the shortcut for this. Always work with shortcuts. It makes life easier. Good. Now we still have a half note rest missing. I could now go into the notes, note toolbar, and select the half note. By the way, here is the multi-measure rest for some people that have missed it. I know that some people always ask for this. But I select the half note rest, but I could also use a shortcut Shift and 2. Shift is also for the rests. So I can place it here, click, and drag it to the position where I want it to be. Good. Now, these little things, these green elements are filled up into voice layers if there is a shared voice. So we are also working on shared notes. So you can say, even if the voice splits it apart, but at the other part of the bar, it is unisono, that these belong to a shared thing. But now, currently, they are filled up with green elements. So what we can do here is it is correctly filled, but we have here a little 2. Move this away a bit, and it's a duplet. So I'll delete this, but now there are 2 less notes in the bar, meaning I have to select this in voice 2 and set this as 8 notes. And also I will do these as grace notes. I will place it here and select grace note. And also I can connect these in the notes menu by saying group beams separate. I could separate them or I can group them. So I want to group them and I want to change the stem direction. You remember Control and D. Now you see there is something else here with this thing. So I open the properties. And here I can also change the grace note type. What we can also do with the properties is text. Now we come to text and lyrics real quick because it's a bit far in the time. Chords are always anchored to the staff below normally, if they have been recognized correctly. If I double click here, I can see the chord window opens where I can determine what chord it is. And lyrics are always anchored to the notes or to the staff here. If in this example, the whole layout was destroyed, so you have always to make sure that all the lyrics are anchored correctly. Otherwise, when you export it, then it will be a mess. This is really important. We will also include an anchor symbol so you can view all anchors at one time, just like we can do with selection. So I can also select all lyrics here in the view menu and say text. And I want to select all lyrics. So I know here, okay, all lyrics are displayed. And this is a problem here. You see this chorus? Chorus is set as a lyric element. This means this chorus that belongs to this staff is connected to this staff that has nothing to do with it. So this means if I wanted to export it, then it would be completely at the wrong place. So what can I do? I can move it. I can move it with held Control key to change the anchoring. But I could also do something else. I will show you in this backing example. I open the properties and I change the text type from lyric to common. So if I double click, the whole text appears. And now the common anchoring is at the position where it's supposed to be. I can also add chords by clicking C, and I say D. And let's pretend this C would be, this chorus would be a C chord, yeah? This is important that you change this to a chord symbol. You can do this by right-clicking, and then you can say at the bottom, switch to chord symbol. Now you can hold Control and move it down here. This is important if you transpose a score and you want to transpose the chord symbols. But if it's a normal text, it will not be transposed, the chord symbol. It will stay a normal text. So quickly, once more here with the lyrics, I can double click the lyrics and I could change them. I can move to the next syllable with a tab. So I can write notes here and move them correctly. And I can also change the position. If I double click here, you see these little numbers. And this is a whole text line. So if I hold this and move it up or down, you can make more space for the notes, for the text, for the lyrics. And also, if you have to big text, that's why I told you in the beginning with the properties, you can change single text elements, but in the preferences, I can go to the text tab and I could select text type, lyric, and change the whole size of the text. So you can see it gets smaller. Also, sometimes it helps to change the character spacing, -1. So they shrink a bit. And this also helps to make text better readable. So these are the basic and advanced editing techniques. I would tell you more soon, but we will do some more webinars and the time has come to an end. It's an hour already, but I hope you have learned some things. And I hope that you will have less frustration while scanning your scores, or you might now maybe know a bit how to help yourself. I'm always here to help yourself also. So if you have problems, you can send them in the support. Also send your scores that you have problems with recognition. Send them to our support section with a subject recognition. So our AI developer can train on that. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to collect some scores and then we will feed our AI training database. So it will get better and better in time with your help. And I'm looking forward to have a closer customer relationship with you.